Hi everyone, welcome back to Wool and Fabric Making. This is Nicole of Wool and Fabric Making. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. This is going to be episode 10. Last week we went through a bunch of patterns on Ravelry and went through some one skein options and free online resources. So hopefully you enjoyed all that. I realized that probably going through Ravelry online might have excluded some people. So if that's the case and you would still like to hear about the patterns, please let me know. I could always do a follow-up and do just graphic pictures of the patterns and see if there's a way to get those, off of Ravelry or something. But let me know if that's something you're interested in. I'm more than happy to work through that if that is something. Okay, so this week we're going to go back to just a regular podcast episode. I do have updates on several different things, as well as some finished objects, right? So I'm very excited. And then I will give you a quick update on my Christmas gifts, a new swatch that I'm probably going to cast on something new because why not? Not like I don't have enough other stuff to do, right? Whatever. And then an update on my test knit, which is due in about a week from when I'm recording. So I still have a week to go on the knitting time frame. And we're getting close. It's gonna be close. So we'll see. Okay, so as for finished objects, I am wearing it. This is my summer sweater that I've been talking about for a while. So this is the Alfie sweater by This Bird Knits. The original pattern intention is for it to be a long sleeve, sort of slouchy, oversized sweater. I wanted to make it in a cotton blend yarn and have something more of like a t-shirt that I could wear here in Phoenix more often, during the year. So I knit mine in the Illimani Sabri II, which is a blend of cotton and alpaca. It is more of a like worsted weight yarn, so it's a bit heavier. And the actual drape of it is amazing. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful fabric on. And I'll post a picture of me wearing it so you see the full sweater. But, if you have seen a few of the other episodes in my channel, you will have seen that I was trying to decide if I wanted to make it long sleeve or short sleeve. And after a lot of deliberation and pre-blocking and trying it on, I opted for the short sleeve. Now, I love this sweater. I love the fit of it. Do I think that one day I would make a long sleeve version in a wool yarn? Maybe. So here's the thing. It's a worsted weight sweater. So in cotton, worsted is probably okay. In wool, worsted is very warm. So for living in Phoenix, if I made something like that, it would probably be too warm to wear for 90% of the year. So I don't know if I would, but if I lived somewhere colder, absolutely I would. Definitely. I love the construction of the sweater. It starts with just a cast on, a ribbed collar, and then you immediately go into the motif of the cables. So the cables, the way the yoke is increased, it's a circular yoke, and the way it's increased is you're slowly adding stitches and creating a wider cable as you go down the yoke. And so these cables sort of grow. They look sort of columns that are increasing at the base. They taper. And so that's the way she incorporates the increases. So I don't know if you can kind of see this, but yeah, it's really cool. And then there's this pearl knit pearl motif that separates the columns of cables, and it sort of creates this long effect. So as you continue down the body of the sweater in the stockinette, and you can kind of see it in the arms right here. So as you continue down, you maintain that design piece, and it looks really cool. It just continues on and creates a really cool effect on the whole sweater. It keeps it from being just a plain stockinette stitch afterwards. So it's really cool. It's really pretty. I did have a fair amount of yarn left over. I started with 5. I believe I started with 5 skeins of this Illimani, and I do have probably 3/4 of a skein and then this little nub. So together this is probably still a full skein almost. which probably would have been enough to do the full length of sleeves, but honestly, I don't even know. So I don't know if it was worth risking trying to do the sleeves and then not having enough yarn. I didn't want to play yarn chicken either, so that's a thing. But anyway, all that to say, I'm super happy with how it came out. I knitted on a US 10 to get gauge, and it's a very like loose drapey fabric. The cotton content really gives it some weight, so it almost feels like a slinky fabric sort of, which again, I love it. It's so cool. It's one of the first sweaters I've made in like a very neutral color, other than like black. I do make a lot of black stuff, but I usually do like reds or pinks, or I tend to go a little bit bright on my colors because that's the type of yarn I tend to buy. But this is like my first garment in a neutral color, and I'm really excited about it because I do think it's going to be very versatile, and I can wear it to work, and I'm not like, distracting people. So yeah. So that's my finished object number 1, and I really like it. I'm really excited about it. Plan to wear it to work on Monday. Love it. Okay, my second finished object is actually inspired by our gift knit videos. I drink a lot of like iced drinks. I mean, living out here is pretty common. And if you ever go to like a coffee shop or something and they give you a plastic cup of an iced drink, immediately it starts to condensate. Like you're still in the store and it's already condensating. And I hate it. I hate it. I cannot handle condensation. And so after the gift knits video, from last week, I was like, Nicole, make yourself a cup cozy. Like you knit, you have so much yarn, you have so much scraps. Why wouldn't you do this? So I made just a very simple little cup cozy. And the nice thing is I was able to use some leftover yarn from the original video that started it all, the swatches, right? So at the beginning, the very first episode I ever did on YouTube was about my visit to the yarn parlor and several yarns that I purchased to like test out and try. So this is Sandnes Garn Atlas. It's a worsted weight 100% wool yarn. This is what I still have left after the swatches and after making this. So I still have like enough for some color work or to put it in or make more cup cozies or something. But essentially what I did, I cast on like 48 stitches based on a free pattern that I was able to get on Ravelry. And I cast on 48 stitches, but because I was modifying this for different size iced cups, which usually most cozies are for like hot cups, which have a slightly different profile, I actually went ahead and decreased this quite a bit as I went. So I decreased I decreased 4 stitches every like 3 rounds to give it quite a bit of taper. And essentially I just wanted to make sure that like I could use this on different size iced cups. So at the top, like I said, at the top up here, I did 48 stitches and then I decreased like on both sides of the center, sort of like I could show you probably. So see that? Yeah. So on both sides, right? So I actually used it last night and it was great. It worked really well. It kept my hands from getting all wet and gross. I hate that. So it kept that from happening, but it also sort of absorbed the condensation and it kept the cup from getting all drippy on the bottom. So the condensation sort of got targeted up towards the middle and it sort of like wicked the moisture away and kept it from getting super gross. So I loved it. That was fun. I just did a simple stockinette. I do think that like if I were to do another one, maybe I would do the whole thing ribbed. So then it kind of cinches in and then you could really modify it, or not even modify it, but just have it available for like multiple different types of cups, like different sizes. So I might do that as well. I have so much yarn. So like yarn is not a problem. So yeah, I think I might do a few more of these just because I would like to have one at home, have one at work, have one in my purse, have one in my car, for all the times that I need it. So yeah, that's my little cup cozy, cute little finished object. It took me all of like 2 hours. It was not a long project. I got it done literally in like 2 hours, so super easy. So yeah, I do recommend these if you're like me and you really hate touching cold, wet things. Love it. So that is it for finished objects. So jumping into some updates. I'm still working on my test knit. Big surprise. Now, what I will say is I have finally broken into the second ball of yarn, so like that's good. It's a good sign. The other thing I will say is buying new needles, best choice of my life. I should have done it sooner. Like in retrospect, I should have done it as soon as I realized those needles were a nightmare. So that's on me for not like just biting the bullet and doing that. But anyway, so okay, I had shown you last time I really didn't have a lot of the front. So this time around, we are almost at the point of joining in the round for the front and back. So this is sort of the two pieces. So like I said, I'm almost done with all the front increases, and then that will get joined in the round for the underarm. So you can kind of see like it'll, you know what I mean? It'll like come down here and go under. It looks like it doesn't fit, which I get, but this thing blocks out heat. Like it grows so much when you block it out. And I have the test swatch, or I'm sorry, my knit swatch, my gauge swatch, that I did that I was like, okay, so this thing's going to grow a lot. So I'm not super concerned about what looks like it's not going to fit right now, because I know that like as soon as I block it, this thing is going to go like whoop. So that's okay. I'm not too worried. And like I said, now that I've gotten the new needles, like this has gone so much faster. So I'm really happy about that. Also, right now I'm knitting like, flipping it like right side versus wrong side. So on the wrong side, you purl a lot. And I have found with the smaller needles, like purling takes a long time. Usually it doesn't take me that long. So I anticipate that once I get this in the round and I can just like zoom through it, it's going to go a lot faster. So I have very high hopes. I have very high hopes for like joining this in the round and then like zooming through the body. Because I'm also not making it super long. It's going to be fairly cropped. Like that's kind of the way I would wear it. Oops, sorry if I just hit that. So yeah, I think it'll be okay. I'm realizing I probably just covered that microphone a few times. So sorry if the noise got weird, but anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just like not giving up. Luckily, the way my brain works, the minute I have a deadline, I tend to like strap in and get stuff done. So, you know, that's a perk, I guess. So I do feel like once I get knitting this in the round, it's going to go quite a bit faster. So I look forward to like the next few rows that I have to get done. And then I think we're going to zoom through. So, this is the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. The color is, I think, Pink Daisies is the colorway. I could tell you. Knitting for Olive, Pure Silk, Pink Daisies, 100% barrette silk, 250 meters for 50 grams. It's a 50-gram ball. Yeah. So, like I said, I do feel like this will go fast. So I have a week left, trying to get it done, trying to be like good about getting it done. So that's that, you know, almost there, getting close. So yeah, I don't know. It's a cute pattern. I'm really excited for the finished object because, you know, since it is so lightweight in yarn, I do think it's going to be really nice to wear. Plus it's silk, which is typically a pretty cool fabric. I think it's gonna be great when it's done. It was just, I think getting over that hurdle of the needles ended up being a lot harder than I thought. So, you know, that's on me for not realizing that I needed to make that change sooner. So that's my test knit. Okay, a couple more updates. I've already talked about this a little bit a couple episodes ago when I was trying to figure out, geometry and triangles. Well, this is an update on my Christmas gifts. So we talked about this a little bit. I'm working through this. This is going to be a corner of a shawl that will then include these two sort of black yarns. This is like the charcoal gray. These are both K and C yarns that are discontinued. So this is the Cloud Paca, and then I dropped it. And then this is the like Super Wool Luxe Fine or something like that. Both of them are discontinued. They're Joanne brand yarns and they're both gone now, so they're not a thing anymore. But I'm diving deep in my stash and trying to use up. So it'll be those two as the base, and then the final will be this beautiful sparkle yarn. You guys have heard me talk about this a ton. You know what it's about. I'm not gonna go into it again. But I haven't really made it past this little triangle yet. So as soon as I do get past the triangle and I start adding in the next color and changing the way I'm decreasing to start creating that asymmetrical triangle shape, I will bring it back and show you all, because I do think it's going to make more sense once we get there. So, yeah, we'll get there. So yeah, that's update on one Christmas gift. I do have another Christmas gift that I am working on that has gone pretty well. So this is the Hobbi Halloween Harvest something, Twister Halloween, I think. Twister Halloween yarn. And again, I'll put all the specs up, but this is a really cool color changing yarn. So it started in a solid black and it's slowly changing into this like black and gray, and then it's going into like gray, orange, white. So I did start a circular tube scarf, and on the edges down here I'll put fringe. Down at the bottom I'm going to put fringe after it's all said and done, but for this part I am slowly starting to get into some of the color changes, so you can kind of see, like, can you see? Yeah, a little bit of like the way the yarn is starting to color change. It's kind of hard to see it, but there's like too much light in the back. But anyway, so yeah, it's going to be really cool. I think this thing is going to be fun. I think that the color changing effect makes it super unique, and the person I'm making it for, I think it'll be their vibe. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a really cool scarf. And once it's like 2 layers of fabric like finished together, kind of like that, you won't get as much of the see-through. I wanted it to be very drapey and loose, so I didn't do it at a super tight gauge. But I do think once the 2 pieces of fabric are sort of like sitting together, you'll get like a really nice solid fabric. So I'm excited about this one. This one I've been knitting on sort of when I don't need to focus, like I'm not trying to focus. I just knit them around. So watching TV with my kids and my husband, or sometimes I'll do it while we're playing some games, because I can sort of multitask. So, as I get there, I work on it. So I do anticipate that I'll be working on this one and the other black one pretty frequently. And then once one of these is done, I'll jump on to the next thing. So I'll be like continuously finishing gifts. My goal is to like only be working on 1 or 2 Christmas gifts at a time, so that hopefully I can like get these things done and then quickly jump to another one, versus trying to do 10 gifts all at the same time and not finishing any. I'd rather try and work on 1 or 2, finish them, and then jump to another one. That way at least some people get handmade gifts this year, if not everybody. So that's my plan. We'll see. You know how things go. If you've been here a little while, I'm not the best at like focusing. So, and to prove my point, let me show you something else I want to cast on. So I spoke last time on the last regular podcast episode. I talked about the new Golden Field vest by Joji Locatelli, and that I wanted to swatch, and I had started to swatch, but I had not blocked it yet. So I have made enough of Joji Locatelli's patterns that I sort of know hair's doing weird stuff. Anyway, I sort of know how I adjust my needle sizes to get to her gauge, because I'm never really on her gauge with her specified needle size. So I just know automatically, like, if she's knitting something on a US 8, I'm going to go up to a 9, because that's what I will need to be able to get to her gauge. So this pattern does call for a US 8, and it's a bulky weight yarn. I went ahead and swatched on a US 9, and this is my swatch, all blocked up. I love it. It's beautiful. So the yarn is this K&C yarn. Again, this is another one that's discontinued because it was a Joanne yarn. So this is K&C, or Knit and Crochet, KC Splendid Superwash, 100% superwash merino fine wool, 120 meters for 150 grams, 131 yards per skein. So these are beautiful. I really like them. The only issue with this is that I can't get any more of this yarn, so I'm gonna have to make sure I can do this thing, get on gauge, and make the size that I need, and like make it right. So my gauge is like spot on. She's got 14.5 stitches per 4 inches, and well, I shouldn't say spot on, it's off by half a stitch. She's got 14.5 stitches for 4 inches, and I have 14 stitches for 4 inches. So in the basket weave pattern. So my gauge is a little bit, let me think. I have 14, so I'm half a stitch bigger. Yeah. So I'm half a stitch bigger on my gauge, which over the course of the whole thing is going to give it a little more breathing room. So I feel pretty confident that I will get the right size. The only thing that I'm concerned about is the amount of yarn I have, because I have just enough yarn. So what might happen is if I try and make this and I don't have enough yarn, I might do a contrast color on some of the ribbing, or I might make it more cropped than I want. So I'm still doing some math on it, but I think I'm just gonna cast it on and try it. Like, that's what I do. That's my life. That's who I am. I live in chaos. So I think I'm gonna try it and see how close we can get. The nice thing about this is, like, this is gonna knit up so fast. It's gonna go so fast, because of how big and thick the yarn is. It's also incredibly soft, and surprisingly, this yarn did not bleed. Like, I thought I would go and do my blocking in hot water for the gauge swatch and I would have a lot of like color mixed in. It did not bleed at all. I was really impressed at how color fast the dye was. So, you know, I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what happens. Push come to shove. If I need to do a contrast color on some of the ribbing, like the cuffs or the bottom ribbing, like, so be it. It's not the end of the world. No one's gonna die. It'll be great. I'll use probably like a black or even a white. Would look really cool as a contrast. So, you know, it's gonna be fine. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I just really want this really pretty vest. Do I need a bulky weight vest? No. I live in Phoenix. Am I gonna do it anyway? Yes. Yes, friends, I am. I'm gonna do it. So yeah, stay tuned. That will be coming up pretty soon. I'm very excited about this. This is gonna be so pretty. So this I'll kind of be knitting on here and there in between other things. Obviously, I'm still working through gifts and stuff like that. So, you know, but I am excited for this. This is gonna be really cool. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so the other thing really, ow, I'm pulling my hair. The other thing really that I had was I did go to Michael's and I found some pom-poms. They weren't great. Sorry for the noise. They're not like, they're okay. But I did get some white pom-poms for the green scarf that I showed a while back. So let me see if I can probably grab. So this is the green scarf that I mentioned. This is one of my finished Christmas objects, Christmas presents. So I am going to do the white pom-poms on it. So I think that's going to be super cute, actually. So if you see this, it'll be like a little pom-pom scarf. I'm going to put one pom-pom on each end, so you have little pom-poms on the end. So yeah, so I found these at Michael's. They're loops and thread pom-pom. One piece, I think they were like $5.99, which is kind of pricey for a pom-pom. But, you know, they have no competitors. Like, Michael's has no competitors for big box yarn stores other than, like, maybe Hobby Lobby. But a lot of people don't shop at Hobby Lobby for various reasons. So, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. If y'all have any good resources on where to get pom-poms that are, like, a little better, please let me know. I wouldn't mind paying $5.99 if it was, like, not just a plain pom-pom. They had like a tan color. I actually got one or two of each of these colors. So, and they also had a gray, which I did not get gray, but they had black, which is like a shiny, flat black pom-pom. They had this brown one, which does have a little bit of coloring on the tips. So you do kind of see like a little bit of like this, you know, fabric or color change at the end. It's hard to see on camera, but it does get like a little darker on the tips, so like it's meant to be more like fur-like. So that one, I mean, fine. And then this, which is just like a flat white one. So, you know, I would love to have more selection on pom-poms. I'm actually a big fan of a pom-pom. I love a pom-pom. They're super cute on little hats and stuff. So if you can, like, if you have any good resources out there for stuff like this, please share them. I'd love to know. These are 52% acrylic, 38% mode acrylic, and 10% polyester. I don't know what the difference is between acrylic and mod acrylic or mode acrylic. Modified acrylic? I don't know. Who knows, right? I don't know. So, I'm not really looking for like natural fibers, but it'd be sweet to just find some that are a little bit, little different. Also different sizes. I mean, this is the only size they had, and like, they're good for this scarf that I'm making. They're the appropriate size. But like, if I was making like a baby hat, like these would be a little big. If I wanted to put like pom-poms on the end of some straps for like a beanie that has the ear flaps and stuff, these would be too big. If I wanted to do a giant pom-pom on the top of a hat as a statement, these are too small. So, you know, it just depends on your needs, I guess. But it's just sad because I know Joanne used to have several that were like multicolored. I actually have one over there. And then I had one that's like bright pink. I have one that's like a blue turquoise. So, you know, if I'd been able to find more like that, that would have been fun. Like the bright blue turquoise would have actually gone great with this scarf, but I only have one. So, you know, I needed two. So anyway, I mean, it is what it is. I'll complain all day about Joanne going away, but anyway, the white pom-poms will still be super cute. It's going to look adorable on the scarf, and I'm very excited about it. But, you know, if you have any other resources, please feel free to share them in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. I'm a big fan of pom-poms, so let me know. Okay. As for other Christmas gift stuff, I'm still working through things. I'm still doing some different testing with the pink sparkle yarn. So I'm still in process of that. I hope to have some updates. Candidly, most of my time over the last couple weeks has been finishing this up and then working on my test knit, because I do really need to get that done. So, yeah. I'm going to keep working through that. Hopefully I have some updates, and hopefully, you know, by the next time you see me, I will have a finished test knit tank top thing. We'll see. We will see. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. This is a short one today. I don't have a ton of updates, but really looking forward to finishing this test knit so I can wear it next time. Please let me know any feedback on the patterns for the One Skein gift knits or holiday patterns. Please let me know if you have any questions or follow-up. Happy to share more and try and have more resources out there for anyone who's looking for it. I know that, you know, times are tough, so trying to pay for like 70 patterns to try and make gifts can also be tricky. So let me know. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of keep trucking along, and hopefully we see you back here next time. Thanks. Bye.